Gouache is a water-based medium which can very easily be reactivated with water. When you're painting with the medium, that can be a great advantage because you can easily reactivate your paints either on the palette or on your painting as well, and then you can blend other colors in, etc. But once you're done painting and once your work is complete, you really don't want it getting reactivated. So in that case, it's best to figure out some way to varnish your work so that it gets sealed and you no longer have to worry about any accidental spills onto the painting or even just touching it with wet hands and ruining it. So that's what today's video is going to be all about. Hey there, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Shivani and I'm an artist and creative entrepreneur based in the sunny city of Chennai in the south of India. If you enjoy videos about gouache or starting a creative business, you should definitely check out my channel and subscribe. In today's video, I'm going to show you a very simple way in which you can varnish your gouache painting so that you don't have to worry about those accidental spills we spoke about. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so I've got my sketchbook here and the materials you're going to need for this are pretty simple. What we're using as a sealant for the gouache is what's called Dolan's wax medium. So this comes in a tub like this, and once you open it up, it's this waxy looking medium. It's used as a medium to be mixed with oil paints, but I don't use oil, so I've never used it that way. But it also acts as a really good top coat for sealing your paintings. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. This is a tub of about 120 ml and it costs 1337 Indian rupees, and I think there was a bigger size available as well. It seems like a pretty small tub, but it's been lasting me pretty well. I even varnished a really large 2x3 painting with this. So I think it's lasting pretty well and it would go for hundreds of paintings by my approximate, especially sketchbook pieces or smaller pieces. So let's open it up and see how we're going to apply this. The other thing I'll be using is these cotton pads. So this is basically what you use for removing makeup and stuff. It's just simple cotton pads, and that's what we'll use to apply that onto the paintings. I've got my sketchbook here. So this has some of my gouache pieces in it. I've got some more paintings in here and I haven't varnished any of these. So today we're just going to varnish one of them and see what happens. I think I'm going to do this one. So I'll show you exactly how to use it. I've lifted off a decent generous amount onto the cotton pad, and now I'm just going to go ahead and apply it onto my painting like that. And then I will spread it across. Be very generous with your application. Make sure you're covering every little section of your painting. If you notice, it's changing the value of the colors a little bit, so it's making the colors a little deeper. So this was the original painting which I have not yet varnished. This is a varnish section, so you can see that all the colors have become deeper once I applied the varnish on them. Gouache is not a 100% light fast medium. So it's definitely very important to varnish your paintings, especially if you're sending out professional work to clients. If you're selling your paintings, it can lose color or fade over time. So I think it's very, very important to make sure you apply some kind of varnish onto your paintings. I found this a very simple solution. It's very easy to use and it does the job really well. And you can see how there's barely any color lift off. There is a bit of color lift off from the orange, but it's barely anything, and it's not smudged the colors, it's not reactivated the colors. That's really nice to see. And now the only thing is that this takes about 48 hours to dry properly. So we're going to have to leave this and come back to it after 48 hours to see how it looks. So this basically does two things for your painting. The first is it completely seals it so that it's waterproof. so it will not get reactivated even if you touch it by mistake with wet hands, which is a feature of gouache, that it gets reactivated very easily. So it'll make sure that that does not happen. And the second thing is that it helps to retain the light fastness of the colors, which is very helpful. Because many colors with gouache are not 100% light fast. I found that true especially with reds and oranges. Any colors that are mixed using your reds, they tend to fade a little bit over time, and you don't want that happening. This is a great way to protect it. Now I'm going to wait for 48 hours and then we'll come back to this and see how it's performing. It's been 48 hours now, 2 days that is, since I applied the coat of Dolan's Wax Medium, and now it's time for the moment of truth. I'm going to try splattering a bit of water onto the painting and let's see how it reacts. You see how the water is just kind of staying on the surface. It's not even wetting the paint, it's just rolling on the surface. And that's the wonderful thing about using the Dolan's Wax Medium. It's not reactivating the paint at all, and it's just rolling off the surface of the paint. So I'm just going to roll all of that off the paper, and I have a clean cotton pad here. So I'm just going to dab the remaining water off the painting, and you can see that it didn't lift off even a little bit of paint. So it's very nicely gone and sealed the painting, and that's exactly what we were hoping to achieve. So just a few pointers for you if you're using Dolan's Wax Medium. It does form a kind of uneven surface. It's slightly rough in texture when you touch it compared to the gouache by itself. So some people do like to buff it. I personally prefer to leave it as it is. You typically don't need to use it for your sketchbook pieces unless there's something you really want to make sure you're preserving the colors of. But typically sketchbooks are kept closed, they're not exposed to direct sunlight, so you don't need to worry about varnishing your sketchbook pieces. But when you do any paintings on loose paper, or if it's meant to be framed, then it's better to varnish them. And the final thing is, if you do plan to scan your work to use for prints or any other application, then I would suggest that you first scan your work before you varnish it. The reason for that is, as you saw, the varnish slightly deepens the value of the colors in your painting. So just to make sure you're scanning it exactly in the colors that you intended them to be, it's better to varnish after you're done scanning. But that's pretty much it. If you're somebody who paints with gouache, it's really simple to use and it's definitely useful to have around. If you'd like to purchase Dolan's Wax Medium for yourself, you can pick it up at Hindustan Trading Company's online store if you're based in India, and you can use my code Shivani10 to get 10% off your purchase. For people who are outside India, I'll also add the Amazon purchase links in the description below. If you like painting with gouache and are interested to learn more about the medium, then please check out my gouache playlist, which I'm adding somewhere on the screen right now. Click in there, go check out those videos. They'll definitely be very helpful in your gouache painting journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.